If you're in the market for a new gaming monitor, chances are you've seen just how expensive they can be. But what if I told you that I've finally found a monitor that's not only perfect for gaming, but can be found at a very reasonable price too? Well, chances are you'd probably be quite excited, and the one I've got here is from AOC, and it is 1080p, it's 24 inches, 144Hz, and has AMD FreeSync support. So nothing really that's going to hit the headlines for these outrageously crazy specs, but that doesn't stop it from being the best budget gaming monitor I think I've come across so far. Design-wise, there's really a lot to like here. AOC normally tend to lean towards cheaper materials to minimise down on costs, but looking at this you'd never really know that, as it's got a nice slick fit and finish that's well built, but it also looks pretty smart too. Granted, it's not the most premium to the touch, but the red chin gives it a bit of flair, and while it will upset some buyers, I actually really like it. It's clearly an evolution of the older G2590PX, and they've fixed every single complaint that I had with that. The stand is circular and it does a decent job of keeping the unit stable. All the adjustments here are present, including tilt, height adjust and swivel, and you can even pivot it 90 degrees if so desired. The mechanism isn't the smoothest that I've ever used, but you can always swap it out via the VESA mount if you're after something else. Connections wise, we have plenty of options with DisplayPort, HDMI and VGA. I'd advise that if you are using this with a PC, that you use that DisplayPort to guarantee the maximum refresh rate, but it is nice to have the flexibility, including the addition of a 4-port USB hub. At the moment then, things are looking very bright indeed, but of course this is a gaming monitor, so it's going to live and die based on its performance. So what is that performance like, and is the image quality up to snuff? Well, this is a TN panel, and as many of you will know, they're just not great in terms of raw image quality. The thing is though, while this is never going to compete with the best IPS and VA panels, I was actually really surprised just how good it is. You see, the older version of this monitor has pretty poor colour and viewing angles. It was acceptable for gaming, and the performance more than made up for this in fast-paced shooters, but it was limiting. But the story is different here though, as from the moment I turned this on, I didn't get what I expected. I didn't get atrocious image quality, I didn't get washed out images. In fact, I got something that looked a little bit like an IPS panel, and for something that's this price, aimed at this market, I was really impressed. Out of the box, it is certainly too bright and contrasty, and it is quite difficult to get rid of a bit of colour shift, with whites ending up a little bit green or magenta. But for general use, this monitor is going to be absolutely fine, and unlike so many gaming panels, the screen is never flat or washed out. It really is a new generation for TN, and while I certainly won't be going near this for colour grading or photo editing, your games will indeed look rich and vibrant, and perhaps, most importantly, uncompromised. So now that my biggest gripe with budget gaming monitors has been improved dramatically, we can now get on to talk about performance, which as you'd expect from a gaming monitor that uses a TN panel is absolutely fantastic. Input lag is pretty much imperceivable, and after enabling the 144Hz refresh rate, everything just becomes that little bit more fluid. As you guys no doubt know by now, I'm a PUBG addict, and this is the ideal monitor for shooters. Mouse movements are nothing but an extension of your brain's inner monologue, and a high refresh rate monitor can sort of help out smooth out what you're trying to do versus what your in-game character actually does. In plain English, it makes it easier for you to shoot the baddies. If you're rocking an AMD graphics card, then there's also FreeSync technology, which can help reduce the stutter and tearing in your game by dynamically adjusting the monitor's refresh rate to match your in-game frame rate. But even with an Nvidia GPU, I've been so happy using this, and the level of responsiveness really is up there with some of the finest monitors I've ever used. Make no mistake, this is definitely not the best monitor in the world by a large margin, and larger, higher resolution and of course more colour accurate panels exist, and they are worth the extra cash if you have it. But when it comes down to the physical feel of the game, I'm confident that you'd find this a huge step up versus any 60Hz monitor, and I believe you'd be hard pressed to find something that feels that much better in any practical sense. If you can't already tell, I'm really a big fan of this monitor. I was using one of the original high refresh rate monitors when they first came out 6-7 years ago, and I was trundling through the subpar image quality to get those extra kills and smites, or in my case, Well, at least trying to get extra kills. If you want a pure gaming monitor for £200, then look no further, as this really does tick all the right boxes, and it easily wins the Gold Award. If you're after something a bit cheaper, then you can also consider the 75Hz LG MP68, and you can find my review in the top right hand corner of your screen. I'll leave links to this product down in the description below if you want to check out things like current pricing. But I hope you have enjoyed this one. Hit the like button if you have, and subscribe if you're not already for more PC gaming videos just like this. A massive thank you to Asus ROG for sponsoring the channel, and AOC for loaning out this review sample. A massive thank you, I'm going to say this, thank you and thank you and thank you and goodbye.